Test, test. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Soggy Saline High School, the Golden Triangle Track Meet. My name's Jeff Bush. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Soggy Saline High School and the site of the Saline Golden Triangle Track Meet. My name's Jeff Bush. Sitting beside me is...
I'm Nathan Stearns. It's, tell you what, it's a miracle how Michigan's weather can be so up and down. It's been about 45 degrees and rainy in Soggy Saline for the past 2 or 3 days now, but, you know, the show must go on, and it's really dedicating to see these young runners coming from all over the state of Michigan in order to try to pursue glory in one of the biggest track meets in the state of Michigan.
Yeah, we've got about 2,100 runners that are competing today. We're going to go late into the night, but we're going to do our best to bring you all the excitement that's going to come along with this meet.
We got an exciting variety of events for you guys on tap today. You know, we've got a lot of these young runners on both sides, you know, really trying to do good.
And a lot of the runners that we're going to see today are going to definitely qualify for states, and they'll be, of course, running regionals here in a week or so, and that'll be the final qualifications. But they're doing their best to get their best times and hopefully qualify for states on time alone.
We were originally supposed to have over 86 teams come here. We have about 1,800 people coming here today. Because of the rain and because of the elements, but we've had several different events. We have over 30 different events, from shot put and discus to more of the on-field hurdling events. And this being one of the biggest track meets in the entire state, there are plenty of athletes who are looking to prove their name here.
And we've got, of course, runners all the way from freshman through senior. We're going to see the short run 100-meter hurdles, the dashes, and then into the intermediate distances, and finally the long distance, the 2-mile runs have been done earlier today, but we'll see some real exciting events as the day progresses. The 4x100 is always an exciting event.
And as my colleague has said, we're going late into the night here to bring you the best coverage from the Golden Triangle. Every year this is an exciting variety. You know, I'm a Saline High School student, and just seeing, you know, how all the cross-country runners get so excited for this meet, you know, other than the States, which is at Brooklyn, you know, Michigan International Speedway, everybody is so excited, and it's really quite an enjoying sight to see them, you know, get so competitive and so excited about this wonderful meet.
So we're going to do our darndest to stay awake for you and bring you the best that we can bring you, and hopefully we'll keep it exciting for you as well.
We're about ready to get underway here. We should be getting you the results of the meet. The meet hasn't started yet, but as soon as the final results come in, we'll be sure to inform you on who the winners and the victors are.
Our first event according to the schedule, is going to be the women's 100-meter hurdles, and we'll be bringing that to you here very shortly. It appears that we've got the hurdles set, and it's just a matter of getting the competitors down, getting them all lined up in the different heats.
Okay.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2.
It's almost like it's going flat.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Oh.
In other words, have it move.
Okay. Absolutely.
You might need to relay information.
Okay.
Ask them if this tell them it's just going to do a mic check with them and see if it's still doing
Acting weird.
that
Yeah.
bad noise.
Yeah, 359. It's 4 o'clock. Are we done? Okay.
Setup for today's girls 100 girls is the same as always. There are 10 flights of 33 turtles. There's 13.5 meters between turtles, and then there's 10.5 meters from the turtle to the finish.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Soggy Saline High School and today's Golden Triangle track meet. My name is Jeff Bush. Sitting beside me is...
And I'm Nathan Stearns. It's really funny. We've had rain here for the last 2 or 3 days, and right before this start of the finals and the girls' hurdles, there's a little sunlight peeking out over the clouds, so it's going to be interesting to see how this weather affects the mind of the competitors.
I think it can do nothing but help to see a few sun rays coming down here. But the track meet actually started about 10 o'clock this morning. We did a lot of preliminary competition. But we're getting into the finals now, and our first event's going to be the girls' 100-meter hurdles.
And we have actually the competitors are at the starting line. A key runner to watch for Saline is Jessa Davis. They are actually stretching right now as we speak, but she has achieved various athletic accomplishments in the cross-country and track aspect. So let's see how she can do today.
And it looks like the runners are getting set in their blocks. And lane 3 takes the win. It's an impressive time.
Lane 3 controlled that from the opening gun. I mean, she was off. She has great momentum on, a lot of power coming from her hips, jumping over those holders. So an impressive opening event here at the Golden Triangle.
Yeah, she pulled a great hole shot on the start there and got an advantage, as you say, right from the start.
She had some pressure on the outside, but she cleared that and took that right from the gun.
Okay, looks like we're getting ready for the second heat of today's 100-meter hurdles. And lane 1, we've got Libby Jackson from Trenton. Lane 2, we have Tia Lynn from Bloomfield Hills. Lane 3, Alexandra Pringle from Novi. Brianne Darkins from Ypsilanti Lincoln in lane 4.
Lane 5, we have Romy Notchke from Jackson. In lane 6, we have Sarah Fazui from Brighton High School. We have Julia Perry in lane 7 from Kalamazoo Lloyd Norris. And in lane 8, we have Genesis Mejia from Ypsilanti Community School.
Yeah, it's a clean start for heat number 2. Looks like lane 4, Brianna Darkins is taking a commanding lead.
And Darkins for Ypsilanti Lincoln is out to a big lead. She's clearing every hurdle, and Darkins takes the win.
Yeah, it looks like the information we got as far as competitors and lanes is not quite right. That obviously was not a Lincoln runner in lane 4 that took the victory. It was a Pioneer runner. So we will try and get an updated list here and keep you apprised as the night progresses.
Pioneers put together an excellent cross-country and track program over the last decade. They've rivaled Saline in a lot of these aspects, and they have plenty of good runners. Huron and Skyline are also producing many quality runners in all the distance aspects and the shot put and the distance aspects. So it's not surprising to see them do so good at the opening event here at the finals.
And there's a clean start to the next heat. This is a boys' heat.
It looks like Jamison Simeon from Saline is taking the lead. He's got those long, lanky legs at about 6'4", 6'5", and he is there coming right down to the wire. Looks like Simeon's going to take it for Saline.
Second was lane 1.
Possibly Ann Arbor.
Third is lane 3. Yeah, it looks like we got a second heat of the men's 110 hurdles setting up.
We were expecting originally over 2,100 athletes to come here and attend the Golden Triangle meet, but due to a lot of the weather and rain, a lot of the rain has flooded out some of the competitors. We still have 1,800 strong, and we have plenty of teams here. This is actually the largest track meet in the state of Michigan, so there are plenty of people. You always see people warming up, regardless of what's going on. There are people running around the 50-yard line just having a great time. It's more than just, you know, seeing who wins. It's just being that camaraderie aspect on different aspects of the team.
Please do not stand along the fence. You could be invited to run around the outside lane. Please sit in the stands. Do not stand in the room well supported by the fence. Thank you.
Saline's track team has achieved considerable success. They have some of the best facilities in the entire state. We have a great auxiliary field and everything, so it's no wonder why the MHSAA has picked us in order to host this illustrious track meet. You know, just seeing everybody coming together and seeing everybody.
And it's a clean start for the guys, 110 meters. Got lane 4 in the lead. Lane 6 and 5 are running neck and neck.
Lane 4 takes it. 6 looks like he just decked out 5.
Okay, that completes the hurdles. They're taking the hurdles off the track. Our next event's going to be the women's 100-meter dash. All right, next up will be the girls' 100-meter dash. They're setting up, like I say, they're clearing the track of the hurdles as we speak, and we'll be getting this underway shortly. We'll have 2 heats for the finals.
We were roughly supposed to take the girls' 100-meter dash was roughly supposed to start about 4:10. We're running a little past that right now, but we have quite a few entrants, and it'll be interesting to see how this shakes out.
All right, in heat number 1 of the girls' 100-meter, lane 1, we've got Shelby Hall from Ann Arbor Pioneer, Paige Sanders from Plymouth, Madeline Hall from Fenton, Janaya Davis from Southgate Anderson.
Reagan Draper is from Plymouth. In lane 6, we have Jada Weatherspoon, who's from Ann Arbor Skyline. In lane 7, we have Janaea Pryor for an Ann Arbor Pioneer. And in section 8, Saline's own Amira Boyd. And we are off.
It looks like lane 4 is your winner.
Pioneer sweeps the top 2 spots. Amira Boyd comes in at a respectable 3rd place, followed out by Pioneer. Up next, we have the boys 100-meter dash.
It appears we have 4 boys in this first heat for the 100 meter.
And we are off.
It looks like we had lane 3, 6, and 4 in that order.
We are going to be here all night bringing you the best coverage from the Saline Golden Triangle. Supposed to get off the air at 11:30, so if you stay up with us, we promise that we'll try to give you the best coverage possible and try not to fall asleep on you. Tell you what, we couldn't have picked a better time to go on the air. Right around 4 o'clock, it stopped raining and the sun's coming out. Right now, we don't have any rain, hardly a wind at all, and the sun is finally showing down for the first time in quite a little while from the clouds. You know, we're becoming the Seattle of Southeast Michigan, but you know, it's really nice to see the sun for once in a little while.
And looking at the radar, it looks like the rain is moving out. It doesn't appear that there's anything behind it that should be significant for a while anyway. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed that we'll keep the sun out until it goes down.
Fingers crossed. It looks like we might have some smooth sailing the rest of the way weather-wise. Up next, we got the girls 4x200 relays.
beginning of the day, we had a total of 44 teams entered in this 4x200 girls relay.
Not a lot going on right now. We're kind of in that waiting period between this meet and the last meet, so we're going to try and not bore you too much with our whatever. But as soon as we get going here, we'll be sure to keep the coverage going.
I think it's always amazing to me is here it is 20 after 4. We've got some competitors that are not going to even start their final competition until 10:55 this evening, according to the schedule. And these guys have to stay warm, they have to stay limber and focused on their goal ahead. So that's always kind of a chore.
Absolutely. We see a lot of them out stretching up right now, trying to keep warm. You know, if you don't stretch, especially in these events, you get cramps, you get hurt. And, you know, these guys are just running around, staying warm, not really doing, you know, you got to prepare yourself emotionally for these sort of high leverage situations that emerge 3, 4, 5 hours later.
Absolutely. And with the cold temperatures, that definitely can lead to some cramping. So they're watching them closely.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're getting ready for the first heat on the girls 4x200 meter relay. They're in their blocks.
We should be underway shortly.
And this is the start of the
Looks like we got Warren Mott up in the lead right now, pursued closely behind by John Glenn. Warren Mott looks to take it here. They're up probably about 2 or 3 feet, being pursued closely though by John Glenn. They're line 5.
And they're coming into the exchange zone, finishing the first 400 meters.
Now it's neck and neck. Got Mott on one side, Mott slowly pulling ahead, but boy, John Glenn is right on their back.
We've got a race developing here. And of course the anchor leg is always a couple of rockets out there, so this should be an interesting close.
John Glenn now stretching out the lead over Mott. And boy, that runner for John Glenn is flying. Ever so increasing the lead, and John Glenn is all alone right now.
John Glenn is making a statement.
He's probably up by half a straightaway now and extending the lead as they enter the exchange zone.
And John Glenn takes that first heat.
Up next on tap, we got the boys 4x400 relays.
Okay, we're actually going to have another heat of the 4x2 relay. Yeah, we have the second heat coming up of the girls 4x2 relay. We've got a error in our graphic, but we will correct that as the evening wears on. And runners are in their blocks.
We should have the correct graphic up for you now for you guys listening and everything. We got the girls 4x200 relays on
Guns
tap
up.
here shortly.
And it's a clean start.
And we are off. Another clean exchange. And Pioneer is out to a big lead. They started, I think, in lane 2, if I am not mistaken, and they are stretching out the lead as they're going to be entering the exchange zone here shortly. And Pioneer is running away with this meet as they're up over half a straightaway of their next competitors. They enter down the straightaway.
And it looks like we got clean exchanges on that second exchange. Pioneer's got a good lead, but it looks like they're getting some competition here as they come up to the final exchange.
And Pioneer's still in the lead, but their next competitor is closing quickly.
They come around this final turn.
Looks like it's going to be Pioneer to win the second heat of the girls 4x200 relay. Pioneer wins.
And we got all competitors across the line. Okay, next up we've got the boys 4x200 relay. Looks like they're getting set in their blocks, getting their blocks set up for this next heat.
And the whistle is blown. We should be underway very soon.
And guns up.
And
clean
we
start.
are off.
And start on the 800 meter relay.
So far, it looks like the Chelsea distance runners are having a comfortable lead, even though Pioneer is closing as they're going down the back straightaway and entering the exchange zone.
And Pioneer has made up considerable distance as you come into the next exchange zone. And Pioneer has taken the lead over Chelsea.
And Pioneer is starting to run away with this thing. They started off quite a ways behind, but now they have taken victory away from Chelsea, and they are looking to continue the recent run of hot success.
Though it appears that Chelsea's not giving up. They're pretty much holding station on Pioneer runner. And Pioneer is going to take this heat comfortably. And we have all three competitors cross the line. It's a wrap. And it appears we have 6 runners in this next heat of the 4x200 boys relay. Lanes 1 and 2 appear to be empty. Now we have competitors moving into lanes 1 and 2, so it looks like we have a full heat.
The lights have come on here at Hornet Stadium, and I tell you, it's an absolutely beautiful attraction. You got the green grass looking out over the field. You got everybody warming up and everybody hugging each other and have a good time. Just a great sight to see. And for you guys that couldn't make it, we're sorry that you couldn't be here, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure to give you that real stadium experience.
And as we move further and further away from the rain, the field is actually drying out. The puddles that were here when we arrived a little while ago are actually disappearing, and it's going to make for a rather pleasant evening. And the runners are taking the blocks. Guns up. And it's a clean start. Now keep in mind that on the everybody stays in their lane, so this is a staggered start, so it's a little difficult to tell who actually is in the lead initially. Place to watch is the exchange zone. Watch the handoffs. The first person to hand off is the team that's in the lead.
Looks like Hillsdale's in the lead, being pursued closely behind by Saline and Robbie Felton, I beg your pardon. And it looks like Felton is almost neck and neck with Hillsdale's runner as they enter the exchange zone.
And Saline takes the first exchange. That puts them in the lead.
Saline now is starting to stretch out a comfortable lead as they go down the back stretch here. They're holding pace, but Saline still has a comfortable lead as we're getting to the end of this run here. And Sean Duffy, who's having a phenomenal year, looks to be taking the final baton for Saline here.
Absolutely kicking in the afterburners on this final leg.
And Sean Duffy's going to bring home the boys' 4x200 final trophy for Saline.
Looks like Saline took first and third.
And all of our competitors, check that. Now we have all of our competitors that have crossed the line. Ask them if this is better. About a year and a half, 2 years ago, Saline actually had one of the greatest coaches in girls cross country and track and field in the county. Mike Smith actually retired, so we've got a couple events from him that are named after him. But he left a huge indelible impact on this entire school and was one of the best coaches for over 30 years in the entire area of Washtenaw County. So we salute Coach Smith on his over 30 years of excellent service and all that he gave to the Saline community. Looks like we got the girls 1600 meter run next on tap here on our continuing list of exciting events from Saline Hornet Stadium.
For those not familiar, this will be 4 laps around the track to meet 1600 meters.
One lap around the Saline track is about a quarter of a mile, so this is going to total up to just about a mile around here.
And just using a rough count, it appears that we've got about 26 competitors in this heat. As I recall, they will stay in their lanes for their until they come out of turn 4, and then they can cut into the inside. So they will have a staggered start.
From a Saline aspect, the track and field and cross-country programs, as I have previously stated, have attracted many athletic achievements, and there's a reason why we call this town Track Town, because we are, we take pride in the athletic accomplishments. I'm actually a student at the high school. I'm a junior, so just seeing how well these guys prepare and how much they get motivated to go to practice every year is quite a treat to see.
And we're getting set for the girls 1600 meter run. Guns up. And we've got a clean start. As I say, they will stay in their lanes until they come out of turn number 4 on the first lap.
And we will have, as we have stated, we will have 4 laps around this track here. With a long run like this, these girls will be sure not to completely use all of their energy reserves too fast. They're almost doing a light jog right now, and they'll probably kick it into the afterburners as they go into the final lap or final half a lap. And as we come into the back of the first straightaway, it's a really close matchup here.
And now they're starting to fade to the inside. So we'll end up with almost single file to an extent. But this way, everybody now has gone the same distance based on the staggered starts, so we can tell a little easier who is in the lead. There's the completion of the first lap for the leaders.
And everybody's keeping pace here. It's a relatively close match. Southgate looks to be in the lead with Powers Catholic trailing closely behind. And we are about ready to complete lap 2, so we are halfway in this girls 1600 meter run.
And as we come up the end of lap 2, halfway through, 2 minutes and 32 seconds for the leader.
And for all you Saline fans out there, it looks like our closest runner is running in 4th, so we've got one runner in the top 5 out of 26. Not bad at all. It appears from our vantage point at least that Southgate is starting to stretch out just a little bit of the lead if they go down the back stretch. these events require a tremendous amount of stamina, so you're not going to see these people sprinting a lot. It's almost more of a glorified jog most of the way there. They do kick it in the afterburn as the last lap, half a lap, but for the most part, if you're a person that likes to see these 200 meter runs, this is more for the people that like watching these long sort of events.
And the Southgate runner has a commanding lead at this point. And at the end of 3 laps, the leader is at 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Starting the bell lap. The bell lap, of course, is the last lap of the race.
And the Southgate runner is taking a commanding lead, and barring something extreme, it appears that she will be able to take this one home. And as we enter the final turn, it appears that Southgate will be able to take this event home.
Southgate is coming out of turn 4 as the second place runner is just going into turn 3. What a performance. And it looks like Southgate's going to take the girls 1600 with a time of 5:08.
And she has had a commanding win as we are waiting. Just the second runner just now crosses the line in lane
Looks
1.
like Saline has bumped up into the 4th place. Saline takes 4th with a 5:27.
We are still waiting for everybody to cross the line. It looks like Saline has 2 girls coming in at 19th and 20th. Just 2 more people now. The Southgate Anderson young lady appears to have won by almost a commanding 1-minute margin over the last place finisher. Quite impressive indeed.
Absolutely, absolutely. The talent that we're seeing today is pretty phenomenal.
You got to have a lot of respect for these ladies' stamina too. Running a mile, especially when you're being timed, is no cheap achievement. It's something that requires great fitness, and you have to know how to pace yourself.
Testing mic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're doing the girls' gold mile coming up next. And we've got a clean start. It looks like we've got about 22 runners in this heat. And again, they will stay in their respective lanes until they come out of lane 4 and then start fading to the lane 1.
And as they come down the back straightaway here, they are still relatively staggered. And it looks like Mott is starting to take the lead, being pursued closely by Lakeview and John Glenn. And Mott is ever so slightly in the lead here.
And as we come to the
complete
end of the first lap at a minute 10, they're still fairly well bunched.
We actually have a record. The Golden Triangle track meet record was actually run in 5 minutes, which is a very phenomenal time, by Lexi Barrett of Northville on May 16th of 2016, so just about a year ago. The 22-year-old record was broken.
And the Michigan record for this mile is 4 minutes 40 seconds, run by Hannah Meyer from Grosse Pointe South back in May of 2013. So that record's been standing for about 4 years now.
And it looks like we got Mott and Lakewood and Pioneer, the Pioneer runners, coming up for second now, and she looks like she's gaining some momentum as we come down the back for lap 2, excuse me.
And we got a lead change, so we come across the end of the second lap at 2 minutes 27 seconds.
The top 3 runners now are starting to create a little bit of separation from the rest of the pack, and then we probably have about 9 or 10 runners clumped together, and then they're more evenly spread out after that. And the Pioneer runner we highlighted earlier starting to stretch out an ever so slight lead. They're staying stagnant now as Mott has dropped back to third, and it looks like Lakeview is in second.
And we still have a pretty well bunched pack that's going to be vying for 4th and 5th, 6th, and the top 10. Pioneer continues to stretch out the lead.
The top two of the top 3 runners here actually started right at the front of the pack, so it just goes to show how qualifying and lane placement is so important at these events.
And at the end of 3 laps in 3 minutes 38 seconds, Pioneer has the lead, followed by Lakeview and Mott. Pioneer continues to stretch out the lead as they go down the back stretch. Looks like Mott's making a move for second place. She's moved into second place ever so slightly.
Looks like Riley Robinson, a sophomore from Waterford Mott, is going to try to contend for second place. It's going to be interesting to see if she has anything left. As we come across the line, though, it looks like Pioneer is going to take yet another event.
I don't know, Nathan. It's looking to me like Mott's going to vie for the lead here very shortly.
It's going to be very, very close as we come down.
This is going to be a good finish.
To the last lap. Oh, boy. Ever so slightly at the
Pioneer
line.
hangs
like
on.
Pioneer.
Pioneer hangs on at a 4:55, Mott at 4:56.
We have over half the field that has crossed the line now, so it just goes to show it was about a 15, 16-second difference between the middle of the pack and the first 3 runners, so this pack was extremely clustered, a lot more so than the last event.
And it looks like we have a race.
And in the girls' 100-meter dash results, we have some results for you. Westland John Glenn's own Alana Oksheva with a 12, almost 13-second run comes in first, and Janaea Pryor comes in second of Ann Arbor Pioneer with a 13:47. Amara Boyd comes in third, the freshman from Saline, and in fourth, Shelby Hall, the junior from Pioneer. So Pioneer takes 2 out of the top 4 spots in the girls' 100-meter dash.
And I want to apologize when we initially introduced everybody for the 100-meter dash. We were led to believe there were going to be 2 heats. Turned out that a lot of folks, because of the weather, went home early, so we were left with only 4 competitors. So that one heat of the 4 ladies turned out to be the finals.
We should be back on track for you guys, though. Now we're scheduled and everything, so hopefully no mistakes for the rest of the night.
I suspect by 11:30 tonight we're going to be awfully good, Nathan.
I bet. I hope. It's a big accomplishment for Saline's own Amara Boyd as a freshman, already placing third in the biggest cross-country meet in the state. She's obviously got an extremely bright future in cross-country here at Saline and maybe even at the college level. And we have the boys' 1,600-meter run now.
Boys will be taking the track here shortly to get lined up. Keep in mind that a track meet like this, the competitors are not only competing against the other folks that are in the race with them, but they're competing against themselves. A lot of folks actually get personal best times at meets like this because of the adrenaline and the excitement and the importance of the meet.
Not only are they competing against their mental psyche, but they're competing against their body, especially when it's cold and nippy as it is today. It's really important to keep hydration. And we have about 10 or 11 giant, probably 10, 20-gallon water coolers at the 50-yard line, and there are a lot of tents surrounding them. So clearly these cross-country runners, these track runners, are doing everything they can in order to stay hydrated. Boys looking to be taking the block very shortly here. Now the record for this event was set back in 2015. Grant Fisher of Grand Blanc High School actually takes all 3 records for the Grand Blanc. He was out of Grand Blanc, Golden Triangle for the facility record and for the state of Michigan. Grant Fisher takes all 3 of those records. So let's see if anybody has anything left for him to see if they can break his record that has stood for about 2 years now.
And that was quite an impressive time. The state record set by Grant Fisher in 2015 is 3 minutes 57.93. To have a sub 4-minute mile is pretty impressive at this level. And it appears we've got about 9 competitors in this first heat. Here come the rest of them.
Saline has 3 entrants in this. We have Joshua Cook, a junior from Saline, who is looking to improve on his career best time of 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Grant Santos, a senior, is looking to improve on his personal best mile time of 4 minutes and 43 seconds. And Jevin Nishioka, a sophomore, is looking to improve on his career best time of 4 minutes and 31 seconds.
And we have the results of the 100-meter boys 100-meter dash. Taking first is Devin Van Dusen, a junior from Hillsdale, with 11:59. Second was Patrick Tesso, a junior from Royal Oak, at 11:70. Third is Jer Harden, a junior from Grand Rapids, Ottawa Hills, with a time of 11:96. And fourth was Austin Webb, a senior from Hillsdale, with a 12-second flat.
And the whistle is blown for the boys' 1,600-meter race. We should be underway here in a matter of seconds.
And it's a clean start. Appears that we have about 40 in this heat. This is a pretty good size heat for the boys' 1,600-meter run.
And they all appear to be extremely clustered together. Really, no one has fallen to the back of the pack, so we're looking at an extremely close and extremely intense event here.
As they come out of turn 4, they start to blend down to the 1, 2, and 3 lanes. And at the end of the first lap, it's 1:05 for the leader. And they're still tightly bunched. This is going to be an exciting race.
We've got a really close race here, and first it appears to be Portage Central. It's like Gannon Foley, a senior out of Portage, is slowly taking the lead, but he is being pursued hotly by several other contestants.
As we complete lap 2, the leaders with a time of 2:15. And we've got a pack of 8 vying for the lead right now.
After that, we have about 2 runners that have right behind them, and then we have a pack of about 4 or 5. Not too far behind, but that pack of 8, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out for the win in this aspect.
It looks like that lead pack starting to stretch out a bit, but they're still tightly packed to the point where it's anybody's race at this point.
Going down the back here, it looks like Chelsea's runner, Liam Henney, has taken the lead with 1 lap to go, the bell lap. Henny is ever so slightly stretching out his lead.
Crossing the line at 3 minutes 22 to start the bell lap. Second and third are swapping back and forth as they go into the back stretch.
The first, second, and third runners about staying stagnant here. Heaney is ever so slightly still anybody's race. The second place runner is ever so slightly gaining now. And as we go into the final turn, Heaney's struggling to hold on to the lead. It's going to be anybody's race.
The time of 4:26 across the finish line. 4:28, 4:30, 31, 33.
Saline appears to have two runners finish inside the top 10, so not a bad race at all, with another one coming in at 12th.
Okay, looks like we've got the results of the boys' 110 hurdles. In first place, Jameson Swanson, a junior from Saline, with 15:29. In second, Alexander Neal, senior from Kalamazoo, Loy Norks. Third is Ben Barton, a junior from Birmingham Seaholm. Fourth is Reese Nemeth, a senior from Hillsdale. Fifth, Christian Borski, a senior from Royal Oak.
In sixth place, we have Tristan Morales, also from Kalamazoo, Lower Norks, and he is a sophomore. Anthony Ramirez, a freshman out of Clarkston, takes home the seventh place position. Derek Yang, a junior out of Pioneer with a 1784, comes in at eighth. And rounding out the top 10 are Saline's own Luke Atzinger, who's a sophomore, in ninth place, and Noah LaPresto, a sophomore out of Hillsdale, in 10th.
Okay, coming up are the boys' Golden Mile. It appears the runners are taking to the track, getting lined up. It's like the record for the Golden Mile at the Golden Triangle track meet is 4 minutes, 14.98, set by Ryan Robinson from Waterford Mott in 2015, 2 years ago. The Michigan record for the Golden Mile is 3 minutes, 59 and 38, set by Grant Fisher from Grand Blanc in, again, 2015. That was in June, so that would have been at the state meet.
We're just about ready to get started here. The runners are at their lanes, and we are just about ready to get kicked off.
And they're off. The start of the Golden Mile.
And we appear to have 15 different young men vying for glory in the boys' Golden Mile. Aiden Character from Saline is taking out and eking out ever so slightly lead now, but he's being hotly pursued by several Northville runners and a Chelsea runner, it looks like. Character's gotten overtaken. Now looks like Tom Oates is neck and neck looking for the lead here.
And they cross the start-finish line in 1 minute, 2 seconds. They're on a hot pace.
And Character's fallen now to probably about 11th or 12th place. Posting a charge though. He's come back up to 5th. Great run by Character.
As they come out of the 4th turn and heading into the front straight, it's still anybody's race.
Right now, though, is the lead. We got Birmingham Seaholmes runner Luke Wallace, who's being closely pursued by Tom Oates, Jr. out of Chelsea. It's still anybody's race, though. Wallace is ever so slightly in the lead, but he's being hotly pursued on the back by Oates.
About a 2:08 as they cross the start-finish line to end their 2nd lap halfway through the race.
As we go down the back here, Seaholm and Chelsea are still neck and neck. Seaholm's runner is barely eking out a lead, but Chelsea's looking to take him over on the high side.
They come across the start-finish line to start the bell lap at 3:18.
The top 5 are extremely staggered. We have 2 packs of 5 that are making out the top 10, and then the last 4 or 5 runners are scattered back a little more. Still anybody's race. We got a lead change here. Wow. Flint Powers Catholic appears to have taken the lead. A junior. Nathan Mick, a senior. Oh, and he just got overtaken by Oates of Chelsea. It's anybody's race.
As the lead swaps back and forth. And the winner's coming across the line in 4:20.
At the line, it looks to be Luke Wallace of Birmingham Seaholm. And Tom Oates of Chelsea is going to come home in 2nd place.
I think we had about 4 or 5 lead changes on that last lap.
Exciting event nonetheless. And it appears our last competitors cross the line, marking the end of the boys' Golden Mile. And we're going to have some results for you here very, very shortly. The girls 4x200 relay results. Ann Arbor Pioneer Zone, Griffin, Mays, and Hall, their relay team, and Serna Garcia for Athlete 4. The Pioneer Rally team took first place. Northville's Manley, McCollum, Athos, and Mick Nakamura took home second. Westland John Glenn's relay team of Sample, Stribling, Gibson, and Oshifska took home third. And in fourth, we have the Pioneer relay team of Buenuna, Johnson, Weinberg, and Easter.
Fifth was Saline. Lutzima, Hunt, Cook, and Boyd. Birmingham Seaholm took sixth with Johnson, Wilkinson, Mixon, and Paulina Hamill. Waterford Mott took seventh with Jefferson, Cortez, Cogdill, and Singleton. Eighth was Hillsdale with Arnold, Hawkins Smith, Walters, and Dietz. And ninth was Bloomfield Hills, Cranbrook with Praka Asante, Hall, Alawalia, and Anderson.
We would like to offer our apologies now to anyone whose name we may have mispronounced.
There may be a few as the evening wears on. And it looks like we're lining up for the girls 4x100 relay. Everybody's getting into their blocks. Looks like the exchange zones are clear.
And it's a clean start.
There's the first exchange. They're pretty even.
Looks like Mott is acting out an ever slight lead. Now it's neck and neck. Oh, Mott's jumping out to a lead as the second team struggled a little bit on the exchange.
Here comes the final exchange. Clean exchange for Mott. Stretching the lead. Crossing the finish line in 54 seconds. Second place in 56 seconds.
Mott takes this event.
And the Golden Triangle record for this event, the girls 4x100 meter relay, was set in 2016 by Ann Arbor Pioneer, team of Bowen, Mays, Dresch, and Johnson with a 47.99. The state record is set, or was set in 2005 by Detroit Mumford of 47.15. Okay, we're getting ready for the second heat of the girls 4x100 relay. Appears the exchange zones are clear. The gun is up. And a clean start.
Looks like Pioneer is taking the lead here ever so slightly. Saline's pursuing closely behind Pioneer.
Nice handoff for Pioneer on the final handoff. Yes.
It appears Pioneer is going to take this.
50 seconds flat. Second place at 51 and 52 for third. All right, next up we've got the boys 4x100 relays, first heat.
The whistle is set here now for the boys 4x100 relay, and we should be underway shortly.
It appears this first heat's going to be 2 participants. Exchange zones are clear. Guns up.
And it's a clean start.
And crossing the line in first place at 46 seconds. Chelsea in second at 1 minute flat.
And the second heat of the boys 4x100 relay looks to be taking underway here very shortly. And the whistle is blown, and we should be underway in a matter of seconds.
Appears that our exchange zones are clear. Guns up.
And it's a clean start.
Looks like clean handoffs by all in that first one.
And the exchange handoff between Connor Hibbett and Robbie Felton was immaculate, and Felton now is looking to take the lead. And Saline's Conrad Dixon, ever so slightly, is going to hand it off to Brandon Boyd. And it appears Saline may sweep the top two positions. Boyd crosses the line in first place. Saline's going to
44 seconds.
Great event for Saline. It appears we had 3 or 4 runners in the top 5 there.
Very good. The second place appeared to be about 46 seconds. We don't get tenths, so we don't know how close they are to actual records here. The record for this is actually Golden Triangle was 42.86, set by Orchard Lake St. Mary's last year, as a matter of fact, at this meet. The state record is 41.17, sent by East Kentwood in 2010.
It's extremely refreshing to see Mike Smith, the retired cross-country coach we told you about earlier, down on the field giving a lot of the boys and girls pointers. Even though he's retired, he's always stayed around the school. He stayed around the track and field program in order to help out as almost an administrative assistant sort of role. So we would again like to thank our special congratulatory thanks to Coach Smith.
In today's grand system
Okay, coming up next, we're going to do the girls 400 meter run. That'll be one lapper on the track.
And we have this orangish amber gray color peeking out from the clouds now. It's turned into an absolutely gorgeous evening. Really hard to believe since it's been raining so much earlier. So The track's still a little soaked, but other than that, the field and everything appear to be quite dry. So good conditions, should be smooth sailing the rest of the way. We would also like to extend our deepest thanks to our viewers out there. We really appreciate you guys hanging with us on your Friday night.
The conditions continue to improve. Other than down the front stretch, there's very little standing water, and the sky is continuing to clear. Got some little fluffy clouds out there, nothing threatening.
And the girls' 400 meters is about ready to commence. We have the whistle and the official yelling at them to get in their starting box, and we should be ready to go here in any second.
Guns up. And it appears we have 5 girls in this first heat for the 400 meter. Again, this is a staggered start, so it's really difficult to tell who is in the lead until they come out of turn 4. That's where everybody evens up and we can get a good read on it.
And as we enter the final stretch, it appears to be Lakeview is etching ahead ever so slightly. Pioneers on the outside, and Seaholm is really close too. It appears to be anybody's race.
Looks like Pioneers holding the lead. And Pioneers going to cross the finish line in 1 minute 4 seconds.
And the last 2 competitors cross the line in 1:11 and 1:12 respectively. From the angle at which we are currently positioned, it can be a little hard to see the positions and who's running with who in these entry lists as we go down the back here, so we apologize if we're a little slow getting you the current results.
And it appears we have a full heat. We have 8 runners in the second heat.
And the whistle is blown, and we should be underway any second.
Runners to the marks. Guns up.
And it is yet another clean and crisp start. Still anybody's race as we go down the back here. The top 6 are extremely clustered together. The last 2 are not too far behind either.
Appears that lane 7 may be holding a slight lead. So lane 4, as they come out of turn 4, actually holds that lead, followed by lane 3. Looks like lane 4 is going to take it with a time of 1 minute, 1 second.
And it appears Northville finished in second and Pioneer finished in fifth. And we have another results thing for you. In the boys 4x200 relay results, the Saline finishes first, and their relay team of Swanson, Robbie Felton, Win Walker, and Sean Duffy brings home first. Grand Rapids, Ottawa Hills, their relay team of Jama, Glasgow, Hardin, and Gillen finishes second. Saline, again, finishes third with their relay team of Chuperkoff, Waluski, Theokrakis, and Carter. And in fourth, we have Hillsdale with their relay team of Webb, Nash, Jimenez, and Height.
Fifth is Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook, the team of Powell, Canning, Russell, and Wiggins. Sixth, Westland, John Glenn, with Graham, Williams, Lewis, and Terrence. Seventh, Northville, Bragg, Zervos, Knight, and Covington. Eighth was Ann Arbor Pioneer, Onifade, Prometis, Burke, and Wheatley. Ninth, Romeo with Messner, Finos, Camigo, and Jackman. And finally, Chelsea in 10th place with Frobo, Skinner, Govar, and Hackett.
It's really interesting to think about what these runners are doing here. I mean, a lot of these guys are going to run, 5, 6, 7 hours, different events. So it's really interesting to see how they get prepared and how they keep mentally ready, because once they lose that mental edge, there's a good chance they're not going to do good in their respective events.
And the runners are taking the mark. This is again the women's 400 or girls 400 meter. Third heat. Guns up. And a clean start.
Lakeland appears to be in first, Northville in second, and Brooke Wolchinski of Saline appears to be in third. However, she's making up considerable ground. Lauren Hunt from Saline now trying to take the win. However, it appears it might be Lakeland at the line. It's going to be close, however. It appears Northville won.
Lane 5 takes the win in 59 seconds.
And now we have the boys 400-meter run. How these events normally go is you have the boys that end up going first, or excuse me, you have the girls that end up going first, and then you have the boys going first in their respective event, and this is how these events will be staggered most likely for the rest of the night. And the whistle is blown here, and we should be underway here shortly with the boys 4x400.
Guns up. And we have 2 runners in this first heat.
Chelsea appears to be side by side as they are slowly building momentum. They started behind but have cut into that Pioneer lead ever so slightly. And as Chelsea stretches out their lead, they're looking to take this.
It looks like Chelsea's handily going to take the win with a time of 57 and a half, roughly, seconds.
We would like to thank all of the sponsors that helped sponsor this meet. Without your generosity, this meet would not be possible.
I'd also like to thank all of the volunteers that are out here today. Don't know what the number is, but there are a significant amount of people out here helping to put this meet on.
And the second meet looks to be underway here. The second heat, pardon me. Looks like they have 7 or 8 runners. And the runners are in their blocks, and we are off. Here's Waterford Mod is going to take this again. They and Pioneer have had some good success here at the Golden Triangle.
And that was a close finish at 55 seconds. I'm not sure who took that one from our vantage point.
Waterford Mott had a commanding lead, but their runners slowed down. I think it was Waterford Mott by the smallest margins. However, don't quote me on that. And now we still have the boys' 400-meter run. There appears to be 6 or 7 runners by my count in this heat. And the whistle is blown. We all know what that means.
Guns up. And they're off. Looks like Waterford Mott and Chelsea are going to vie for the lead here coming out of turn 4.
And it's Chelsea ever so slightly ecking ahead of Waterford Mott, and Waterford Mott is holding on to the second spot.
But maybe not for long.
Chelsea is out to a commanding lead, and they take this event. Waterford Mott comes across in second. Saline will come across in fourth.
Looks like it was 51 seconds thereabouts for Chelsea for the victory. Okay, we're lining up for the next heat of the boys 400 meter.
And we would like to thank our sponsor for this event, Dr. Catherine Kelly Orthodontics. We are extremely thankful for your patronage, Dr. Kelly. We are just about ready to get underway here with the next heat of the boys 400.
Guns up. And another clean start.
Romulus appears to be in the lead. John Glenn is second, and Romulus again is going to be in third. So Romulus having a strong event.
It appears that Romulus is going to handily take this one, crossing the line in 50 seconds flat.
They finished first and third, and it appears Saline had a runner that finished in fifth.
It looks like next up is the girls 300 hurdles. They're setting up the hurdles as we speak. As soon as we get them set, we'll get going on this next heat. And we've got the whistle for this first heat of the girls 300 meter hurdles. And they're off. Looks like there are 3 runners in this first heat for the 300 meter hurdles. Looks like the runner in lane 3 has got a commanding lead at the moment. She's got one more hurdle to clear. 53 seconds for the 300-meter hurdles. Lane 3, 4, and 5 in that order. Okay, we've got the runners coming into the blocks for the second heat of the 300-meter girls hurdles. I don't know why that's difficult for me to say. Guns up.
And we are off.
Appears we got 7 runners in this heat. Again, we have a staggered start on the 300 since they stay in their lanes. The way to tell who's in first place is to watch them clear the hurdles. First person across the hurdle is the leader.
Seaholm, Pinckney, and Northville appear to be in the top 3.
Seaholm is stretching out the lead.
Southgate, I apologize.
Southgate drew me into it. And Southgate crosses the line in 49 seconds.
Northville's going to be second, and Pinckney rounding out the top 3.
Once again, if you are a winner, please make sure that you pick up your medals at the added tent. You can pick them up individually. They will not be handed out to the coaches at the end of the meet. The added tent is located by the entrance to the grandstand. Athletes bring your equipment and pick up your medals individually.
And the next heat looks about it's ready to commence here. Runners are in their boxes, and they are just waiting for the judge's call.
And this appears to be a full heat, 8 runners. Again, the 300-meter girls hurdles. Guns up. And another clean start.
Saline is currently in second here as they go down the back, entering the front stretch. It's like Green Hills is in first now. Now they're being challenged heavily by Southgate. Saline's in fourth. However, it looks like Pioneer once again is going to win the girls' 300. Southgate's going to be in second, and close finish. I think Saline got fourth.
Another commanding performance by Pioneer runner.
And we have some score results coming for you guys. The boys' discus results. Saline once again finishes at first with their 4-team combo of Jamison Swanson, Robbie Felton, Walker and Sean Duffy. Grand Rapids Ottawa Hills finishes in second with Jama, Glasgow, Hardin, and Gillen. Saline's second team of Chuperkoff, Volkuski, Theokrakis, and Carter finishes in third. Hillsdale comes in at fourth with their team of Webb, Nash, Jimenez, and Height. And fifth is Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook with Powell, Canning, Russell, and Wiggins.
6 is Westland John Glenn with Graham, Williams, Lewis, and Terrence. 7th, Northville, Bragg, Zervos, Knight, and Covington. 8th, Ann Arbor Pioneer with Onifade, Bromidis, Burke, and Wheatley. 9th, Romeo, Messner, Finos, Camigo, and Jackman. And 10th is Chelsea with Trobaugh, Skinner, Gover, and missed the last one.
And Hackett. Would be Hackett.
Thank you, Nathan.
It appears in this meet we'll have Chelsea, Northville, and Hillsdale that will be starting off in the top lane. However, we have several other runners that we cannot yet see. They'll be looking to contend with these top 3 runners. All these accomplishments by Huron and Pioneer and Saline just really highlights the strength of the SEC Red when it comes to track and field sports. I mean, several of these schools, even Chelsea, who's in the SEC White, has shown the ability to put on tremendous displays of speed. So there's a very competitive conference going on here and a lot of competition going on here in the SEC Red and White. And the whistle has been blown. The runners are done stretching, and they're about ready to start. We have the boys' 300-meter hurdles now, so adding the hurdles is a unique element of challenge. Not only do these guys have to go fast, but they have to focus on jumping over these, because if they hit any of the hurdles, it's a penalty that could cost them the difference between winning and losing. So a double-edged sword, per se.
And it appears we've got 4 runners in this first heat of the boys' 300-meter hurdles.
The boys are down in their stances, and we should be taking off here in a matter of seconds.
The gun's up. 3 runners in this heat.
It appears Northville and Chelsea are in the top 2 spots now. Chelsea is ever so slightly catching up to Northville. However, Chelsea now has the chance of being overlapped for 3rd. Northville's in first, followed by Waterford Mott, and Chelsea's rounding out the pack in 3rd. And Waterford Mott now is taking command of the league as they enter the stretch.
And it looks like Waterford Mott's going to take this first heat.
Followed in 2nd, I believe, by Northville. And 3rd appears to be Chelsea.
Just shy of 45 seconds for the winning time.
Another team that's had a lot of success here at the Golden Triangle is Mott. It seems like every event that goes on here, well, we mentioned one of their runners in the top 5 or 10, so they have a great program going on down there. And as we begin the next round of the boys' 300-meter hurdles, it appears the first runner we will be seeing is from Hillsdale, while the second is from John Glenn.
And this is the second heat of the boys' 300-meter hurdles. Guns up. Six runners in this heat.
About 2 or 3 hurdles were knocked down, so obviously a very demanding challenge. John Glennie has another runner in the lead, and there are 2 Hillsdale runners vying for 3rd, 4th, and 5th now. Nico Hayes is actually in 2nd for Saline. John Glenn is going to take it, and Saline appears to be in 2nd here.
John Glenn takes it in 43 seconds.
And Hillsdale has 3 of their runners cross the line in 3rd, 4th, and 5th, followed out by Northville in 6th. I believe this is the 3rd heat now of the boys' 300-meter hurdles. Let's see how this turns out. Saline has 2 runners that are starting in the top 3, so they will be looking to make something significant happen and add to their list of achievements.
And this appears to be a full heat of 8 runners.
And the whistle's off, and it's a clean start.
Here's lane 5 is currently in the lead, coming into lane turn 3.
Here's Birmingham Seaholm has the lead. However, Mott is right behind Seaholm.
He's holding at his shoulder there.
Saline's comes in at 3rd and 4th. Oh, it's going right down to the wire here. Seaholm and Mott. Who is it going to be? At the line, it looks to be Seaholm. Saline comes in at 3rd, 4th, and 7th.
I think Mott took it right at the end there. Seaholm lost some timing and did a little stutter step coming across and let Mott get ahead.
That was an extremely close race. We'll be looking to get you those results. From our vantage point, it can be kind of confusing to see who wins these things, but when it's close as they are, you know, it's almost a 50-50 chance of getting the call right or not.
That appears to close out the 300-meter hurdles.
The hurdles are now being removed from the field, and we are going to move on to some of the 800-meter runs. We have the girls' 800-meter runs next on tap on a list of events at the Golden Triangle. Track, perhaps more than any other sport, requires an extreme amount of physical training. A lot of these kids only running for 45 seconds or 1 minute, yet they train for hours upon hours upon hours. And you really have to salute these kids, even that don't win, how much effort and how much dedication it takes to pursue a sport like this, because if you're not willing to get in shape, you're not going to be very good. You have to be very good to run at the Golden Triangle.
And next up, we have the girls' 800-meter run. Again, this will be 2 laps around the track. Everybody will stay in their respective lanes until coming out of lane 4 on the first lap, at which point they can fade to the inner lanes. And they're off.
And as they go down the back stretch, the leader is stretching out just a little. However, the second place runner is not far behind. And then we have a big pack for third through about 8th or 9th, it looks like. Not a lot of separation between third and the last place runner right now. And it's another Warren Mott runner that is stretching out her lead right now. Saline right now is contending with Northville, it looks like, for second. And as they go down into the back here to complete lap run, it appears to be Mott yet again leading. However, the Saline runner now is in second and is looking to overtake Mott here. For long, the Southgate runner appears to have gotten quite a bit of momentum. Maybe she's entering her second win because she is running down the Mott runner in a hurry.
Gap between Mott and Southgate definitely is shrinking.
She's going to have a chance to pass her here as we go down the back into turn 3. It's anybody's race right now.
Quite a race going on for 4th, 5th place.
Right now it's Mott going into the final straightaway with an ever so slight lead over Southgate. Southgate runner getting quite a bit, but she's kind of been stonewalled here the last half of the track. And the Mott runner has extended her lead, and she appears to have won.
She's going to cross the line in 2 minutes and 27.5 seconds.
Southgate will be in second, Northville in third, Saline in fourth, and I think that was Northville in fifth. And our last place runner is coming on around here, around 3 minutes, 2:55 to be exact. And we have some more results to share with you guys. In the boys 400-meter results, Kyle Finos, a senior out of Romeo, with a time of 50 seconds, wins. Jared Terrence, a sophomore out of Westland John Glenn, is in second with about a 51-second time. Chris Roush, a senior from Chelsea, finished in third. Connor Camego, a freshman out of Romeo, finished in fourth. Rounding out the top 5 is Zach Lowell, a senior out of Waterford Mott.
In 6th place, we have Alfredo De La Rosa from Holland. Garrett Powell takes 7th from Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook. Winford Walker from Saline takes 8th. Jacob Brunty takes 9th, also from Saline.
And we are underway with the second heat.
Again, this is the girls' 800-meter run. Point out to you again that this is a staggered start, so you really can't tell who's in first place until they come out of turn 4. Turn 4, they've equalized the distance from the lanes, and they will start to fade into the lane, to the first lane, and at that point, we'll be able to tell who is actually in first place.
Once again, another Mott runner appears to have taken the lead. She is in the middle lanes now. It appears to be in lane maybe 2 or 3, and right now she is leading here. Being pursued hotly, though, by Pioneer.
Tell you what, I'm impressed by Mott. They appear to be a powerhouse.
Across the line, the Mott run across the line here at about 1:03. They complete the first lap. And as they go down to the back stretch, there's a little bit of distance now between Mott, Pioneer, and the rest of the runners. However, Pioneer and Mott are still neck and neck. The Pioneer runner is looking to the outside for the lead. She's probably about 6 or 7 inches taller and has much longer legs than the Mott runner, which could really boast to her advantage.
Pioneer is definitely taking the lead. Mott is falling back slightly.
And as we enter the final straightaway, the Pioneer runner has extended her lead considerably over the second runner.
Pioneer is going to cross the line in 2 minutes and 10 seconds, followed by Mott at 2:13. That's a race.
And our last place finisher comes in at a time of 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So in 2 laps, the leader managed to stretch out almost half a minute lead, which is extremely big for a cross-country meet such as this. Track and field. I've always been more of a football guy, so you guys will have to excuse me who are listening if I mix up cross-country and track and field. I apologize. And we're about 10 minutes out now from 6:30 p.m. and we have still another probably about 3.5, 4 hours of exciting coverage to bring you from the Golden Triangle, so don't go anywhere.
Okay, we've got some results from the girls 400 meter. In first place, Claire McNamara from Northville with a time of 59.34. Second place, Marissa Salas from White Lake Lakeland. Third place, Lauren Hunt from Saline, a freshman. Fourth place, Caitlin Cross, a senior from Royal Oak. Fifth place, we have Abby Knapp, a sophomore from Highland Milford.
In sixth place, we have Yasmin Affis, a junior from Northville. Seventh place, we have Krista Gazga, a senior from Royal Oak. And rounding out the top 10 are Anna Vander Havel out of Port Huron Northern in eighth. Charina Johnson, freshman out of Ann Arbor Pioneer in ninth. Rounding out the top 10 is Allie Terry, a sophomore out of Livonia Stevenson. Perhaps more than any other sport, being a freshman or a sophomore on a really good cross-country team does not doom you to be riding the bench. A lot of these runners that we're seeing today that are achieving considerable success and breaking records are freshmen and sophomores.
All right, coming up next, we've got the boys 800 meter run.
The boys' 800-meter event was not supposed to take place until 9 o'clock, so we are clearly quite ahead of schedule. It's always a good thing. We're going to be on the air for another 2.5 or 3 hours, and there's still plenty of exciting action left from Saline Orton Stadium. So if you're not doing anything Friday night, feel free to come out. And we also have some results for you in the boys 4x100 relay results. Saline takes the top 2 spots. Swanson, Felton, Harris, and Brandon Boyd take first. Saline's second team of Connor Hibbard, Wolkowski, Hosea Rensselaer, and Conrad Dixon bring home the top 2 spots for Saline. Grand Rapids Ottawa Hills comes in at 3rd with their team of Trotter, Gillen, Glasgow, and Hardin. And Hillsdale takes the 4th and 5th spots with their team of Lemerand, Mock, Stone, and Russell. And Webb, Jimenez, Nemeth, and Van Duzen rounding out the top 5.
In 6th place, we have Northville with Hezemi, Rodriguez, Kearney, and Covington. 7th place, Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook with Wiggins, Russell, Williams, and Tapuzian. 8th place is Romeo with Messner, Jackman, Chepsky, and Wood. 9th is Ann Arbor Pioneer with Onifade, Bromitus, Burke, and Wheatley. And 10th is Chelsea with Bontal, Black, Lynn, and Vowles. And we've got the next heat of the 800-meter boys just launching right now.
And Saline started 5th, but they have taken a big lead. Wow. I don't think we've seen a start like that all weekend. Just coming from the middle of the pack to take a commanding lead. And Saline is stretching out their lead considerably as they look to add another accomplishment to their very successful day here so far. Saline's going to take the first heat of the 800-meter.
Quarter battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then a huge pack behind them.
Our winner crossed the line in about 59 seconds, so a torching pace here. And the second heat is off.
Still quite a battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Well, they are starting to stretch out a bit. Saline is way ahead.
See Grant Santos, one of Saline's sprinters, on the sideline cheering on his teammate.
Coming to the finish, Saline's going to cross the line in 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Saline and Chelsea, I beg your pardon, is going to finish in 2nd. Not only does the Golden Triangle meet have teams from all across Michigan, we have teams from Ohio, and we even have a team we want to give a shout out to Clay, Oregon. They come from all the way from the Pacific Northwest all over to Michigan. We love having you.
And some of the records, the Golden Triangle record is 1 minute 52.2, set by Temperance Bedford in 2011. The Michigan State record is 1 minute 47.55. That was Grand Rapids, Canoa Hills, set in June of 2015. So that's a pretty new record.
Most of the records that we've read and informed you on here tonight were only broken about 2 or 3 years ago, and so far none of these all-time records have fallen. So as we get later and later to the night, that's sort of the thing that a lot of people are really going to be looking for if any of these records are going to end up falling.
All right, next heat for the boys 800 meter is taking off right now. Looks like we've got 6 runners from Saline in there, if I see the shirts correctly.
Saline appears to be out. They have taken the top 3 spots and appear to be in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. That appears to be 7 Saline runners, so definitely a strong showing so far for Saline. And as we go, it's a Giants. Matt Portage Central and Saline are neck and neck. Spencer Leslie's on the inside lane trying to grab the lead. However, it's still anybody's race. Josh Cook's in the scrum there looking to capitalize.
The entire field is bunched up and crossed the line within a second and a half of each other.
And despite the 7 Saline runners, Portage Central now, their top 2 runners are in the top 3, and Saline's drifted back to 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
I haven't seen a pack that tightly bunched since Daytona in February. As they go into turn 3 for the final time, they're starting to stretch out.
Portage Central is going to be in 2nd now. Southgate's in 3rd. However, they have lost the lead.
Crossing the finish line in 1 minute 57 seconds.
For all you NASCAR fans out there, they're racing at Talladega this week, so we should get some really good pack racing once again.
We'll have 40 vehicles within 2 seconds of each other.
Unlike football and baseball and a lot of these other sports, cross country and track and field are extremely unique in the fact that you can always go out and run, not necessarily against competition and not necessarily, against other people, but you always have the ability to run like this, and it's a great way to keep in shape. And this is one of those sports like golf and tennis that you can do for the rest of your life. So it's definitely, these kids are definitely building a great health foundation as they get older and older.
Okay, we got some results for the girls 4x100 relay. In first place, Ann Arbor Pioneer with a team of Griffin, Mays, Hall, and Bowen, and a time of 50.37 seconds. Second place, Westland John Glenn with 51.64. Sample, Strebling, Gibson, and Oshevska.
And in 3rd, we have Grand Rapids, Ottawa Hills with Moody, Stockdale, Watkins, and Latimer. That's rounding out the top 3. Saline came in 4th.
Okay, looks like we've got coming up the girls 200 meter. This will be a half lap. Runners will remain in their lanes for the entire race.
I tell as it gets colder and colder outside, it helps you, bring back to those high school fall nights, playing under those Friday night lights and everything. I'm actually a football player, but, just looking at this scenery and looking at whatever makes you extremely thankful to go to such a great school with such great facilities. And, I try not to take anything for granted, and I hope these runners don't too, because running in this facility, running in these hallowed cross-country grounds provides anybody who's willing enough with a great experience. And this cross-country track field, is a little over 10 years old. The school was built in 2004, but it's about an 8 or 9 lane track. It's a full-length track, and it's extremely well kept and well maintained. We actually got the girls 200 meter meet coming down here. And they're off, and it looks to be a clean start so far. And as they come around the first turn, Pioneers in the lead. John Glenn was briefly in the lead, but the John Glenn runner is getting trampled in the back of the pack now.
It's going to be close at the finish.
Oh,
Wouldn't want to call that one. 26 seconds.
this is actually the 22nd annual Saline Golden Triangle. Saline's been hosting this for 5 or 6 years now, but this event has been going on for quite a little while now. So we are extremely thankful to have the opportunity to host this grand cross-country meet. And we have some more results for you guys. In the boys 1600 meter, we have Luke Wallace, a senior out of Birmingham Seaholm, who came in with a time of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Tom Oates out of Chelsea, who a junior, came in with a time of 4 minutes and closer to 4 minutes and 21 seconds. Landon Melling, a junior out of Hanover Horton, came in at third in a 4 minute 21 second, 57 second millisecond time. Harrison Garizmakowski, sophomore out of White Lake, Lakeland, came in with a 4 minute 22 second time. Rounding out the top five is Nathan Mack, a senior out of Porta Central, with a 4 minute 22 second and 59 millisecond time. And just some background information for you guys. Some of the head officials, the pole vault head official is Ike Furbush. The discus head official is Jake Stassa. The high jump head official is Jim Chapman. And the shot put head official is Drake Crabtree, who was a football coach here at Saline for many, many, many years. And we are thankful for these sponsors, supporters of the Golden Triangle. We would like to extend our warmest thank yous to IVS.com, Barbara Hesse Visavati Agency, German Tools of America, Dr. Catherine Kelly Orthodontics, Applied Fitness Solutions, O3 Sports Trainings, Apotheke Salon, Human Performance Collective, Turtles T-Shirts, Recognition Awards, Verdigree, Felton Hibbert Team, New Balance, Graham Systems, Ginger Lamone Photography, Barwis Methods, Linden Square Assisted Living, Saline Flowerland, the Demlo Family, Drugulus Photography, Lynn Kettle Hut Realty, and Mixed Meat Management Company. We would like to extend our thanks for sponsoring this meet, because without you guys, a lot of these facilities could not have been kept up at the pristine condition that they are in. And we are kind of in the waiting period, waiting for the next event here. So as soon as we get going, you know, we'll be sure to give you the best coverage.
It looks like we have results from the girls' 1600 meter. In first place, Ann Forsyth, a junior from Ann Arbor Pioneer, with 4 minutes 55.25 seconds. In second place, Riley Robinson, a sophomore from Waterford Mott, with 4 minutes 55 and 44 seconds. And in third place, we have Kyla Christopher Moody, a sophomore from West Bloomfield, running 4 minutes 56.95 seconds. Congratulations to all.
Sixth place, we have Mallory Barrett, a senior out of Highland Milford, with a 5 minute 4 second time. In seventh place, Jocelyn Overdeer, a senior out of Pioneer, with a 5 minute 4 second and 67 millisecond time. And rounding out the top 10 are Madeline Ream, Elizabeth Dallenprey, and Olivia Bryan out of White Lake, Lakeland, Clarkson, and Benzie Central, respectively. all for you Saline fans out there, the men's head coach is Coach Al Leslie, and the women's head coach is Coach Brian Bowes, who both teach history at the middle and high school respectively. So if you see them around town, be sure to give them your thanks. I guess the Golden Triangle meet has become to attract even more than humans. There's about 6 or 7 turkeys running around in the grass field over, so we're bringing some livestock with us. In the girls' 200-meter event now, we're about ready to start. My colleague is stepping out a little bit, but don't worry. I'm still here, and I'll be sure to give you the best coverage possible. Awards will be given to the top 8 players on all events, and the special medals are given to the top 3 in all events, including relays. And these medals are the type they give out at national competitions. So there is a big incentive for these runners and sprinters and discus and shot putters to try their absolute best. Oh, it's okay. For all of you Saline fans out there, for the Golden Triangle Meet of Record Champions Record Board, we actually have a lot of this stuff pulled up for you, and Saline has achieved the women's shot put record over 40 feet in 2013. David Alberti, a close friend of mine, was a men's 800-meter relay in 2015 at almost a minute and 30 seconds, which is a phenomenal time. And the men's 1600-meter relay in 2015, he also set with a 3-minute and 21-second time, respectively. And for all you people who follow cross-country or track and field, and may not follow it as much as I like, MLive every week comes out with a rankings list of where they rank their runners, boys and girls. So I'd encourage you guys to check that out. Their latest installment, I want to say, came out on May 2nd or 3rd, so really recent. And we are off. And in the boys relay, it appears to be an extremely close matchup. And it appears lane 6, I believe that was from Southgate, is going to take the win on that. In the boys 200-meter event here. We're getting ready for heat number 2.
Obviously, this has been a very hard day on the people that volunteer, the officials, the coaches, the administrators. But they persevered and many have brought us to this point. If you look, how about another round of applause? We all know that they make it happen. Thank you.
something I've always personally really liked about high school track and field was that they run the finals in June, mid-June, at Brooklyn Speedway, Michigan International Speedway, which is quite unique. You're running 2 miles along this big asphalt track that holds 60, 70,000 people. So it's unlike pretty much every other, big state meet in the state of Michigan. I mean, football plays at Ford Field, but, there's nothing like running around a big old asphalt track that holds more than just about any sports stadium in the state. And we are once again in a little bit of a standover here, so I'll try to keep you guys somewhat entertained. Some runners to keep an eye. Excuse me, we have the girls' 3,200 meter run coming along now, so that is 4 laps, I believe, around this quarter-mile track. And the whistle's been blown, and we should be off any second now. The runners have taken their respective lanes. Now all we're waiting now is for the judges' signal for them to get in their stances. And the gun has been blown, and we are off. From our vantage point, it really is hard as this race takes off to see who is in place, because with the way the track is situated, you can't really tell where the lines, begin and end. So it really is quite hard. We get a lot better view coming down the front stretch. And we have 2 BC runners that are currently vying for the first overall spot in the 3,200 meter race here. Kayla Fortino and Saline appears to be in 5th, and Juliana Romero for Saline is in 8th. However, the 2 BC runners are currently building somewhat of the lead, but they've stayed side by side here for the last quarter of a lap. And BC is still, both the runners have not really changed positions the last lap or two. And they're both still neck and neck as they come on for the second lap. And they are both still side by side. Not a lot has changed so far in this running. And there's both the BC runners are still both side by side as they look to complete lap number 3 here. And Saline, the Saline duo of Fortino and Ramirez come up to 3rd and 4th respectively. As they cross the line, it was about 2:38 for the top 2 leaders and 2:40 for the 2 Saline runners. And 2 BC runners have built a commanding lead out of the Saline runners, who are in third and fourth. It's going to be interesting to see if Saline has anything left in the tank to challenge. And the BC runners got out of the gate really early and really haven't looked back so far. The Saline runners were in the middle of the pack, but they're up to third and fourth now, so positions have stayed relatively constant for the most part this entire event. And this is an 8-lap event, so we're coming to lap number 4. These are the stamina runners. These are the ones that have to run miles in every day in order to, know how to pace yourself and know how to stay hydrated and everything.
Completing lap number 3, time of 4 minutes and 9 seconds, 5 laps to go.
And the BC runners on lap number 4, I believe, are still eking out a lead. One of the smaller runner for BC is slowly overtaking her larger counterpart. The Saline runners have dropped back to 5th and 6th, respectively. This is when you got to find your second wind and kick it into high gear, because these girls are only about a little over halfway done now.
Coming up to the halfway mark. BC runner is crossing the line at 5 minutes, 33 seconds.
And second, third, and fourth are relatively scattered, and it's a race for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And ever since the gun was started in this event, it seems like it's the same thing. BC is slowly but surely just maintaining that lead as they come around to complete lap number 5. Saline started in the middle of the pack. They were in third and fourth, and now they're dropping back ever so slightly.
And here comes your lead runner crossing the line after 5 laps, 7:03. Tight pack of 4 for second, third, fourth, and fifth. Then 3 for 6th, 7th, and 8th.
It's actually quite funny to see a lot of these teammates of these runners that are either leading or need a little bit of motivation just on trailing the sideline, following them and barking orders at them. It's interesting to see how this motivation plays out. And as we come around to complete lap number 6, BC still holds a 1-2 punch in that runner we told you about earlier that was been leading since lap 3 is not relinquished her lead, and it doesn't look like she will anytime soon.
BC's completing the 6th lap in 8 minutes 34. 2 laps to go. Still a fairly tight pack for 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
And the Saline tandem of Kayla Fortino and Juliana Romero are running right together in 5th and 6th. We're at the bell lap here. BC's just about to cross over for lap number 7. And she got off to a hot start and has not relinquished her lead since.
The BC runner's completing her 7th lap, coming up to the bell lap in 10 minutes, 6 seconds.
And the second BC runners look to fade just a little bit as she's back to 4th. Fortino's at 6th, it appears, for Saline, and Romero's dropped back to 8th. And in 11 and a half minutes, in a shocking turn of developments, BC blows the lead. Both the runners finish in 4th and 5th, I believe. Kayla Fortino looks to be in the top 10, as does Juliana Romero.
Wow. Young lady led the entire race except for about the last quarter of a lap.
This 3,200-meter run is the first of 2 on the girls' side. There's going to be the elite runners aspect after this. Anthony DeCracker, Saline, will be a big person to watch out of Saline. His career record is an astonishing 9 minutes and 21 seconds for the 3,200. And Saline's 4x400 relay, which will happen later tonight, is ranked just a little bit behind Rockford. So let's see if they can overtake Rockford.
All right, next up, we're going to do the Girls Elite Mike Smith 3200 run. These are the best times, qualifying times coming into the meet. Should be a good run. All right, running in this heat, we've got Maggie Farrell from Battle Creek Lakeview, Ann Forsyth from Ann Arbor Pioneer, Anna Jensen from Midland Dow, Rachel McCardle from Birmingham Seahome, Kayla Windmuller from Holland Christian, Audrey Ladd from Birmingham Seahome, Anna Barrett from Northville, Kayla Eckroth from Northville, Olivia Harp from Northville, Jenna Magnus from Grand Ledge.
And they're about ready to start here, and we will keep the action going for you.
Guns up. And they're off.
There's only 14 runners here in this meet, so not as many as last meet. Last heat, I beg your pardon. And as we complete lap one, the leader is going to come in with a time of 1 minute and 13 seconds. After the top three runners, they're all bunched up in a giant pack, so there's still a lot of jostling for positions going around at the back of the pack here. In first place now, it appears that we have Kayla Windelmuir, junior out of Holland Christian. She has led this entire event from the start, but it doesn't always guarantee victory, so it's going to be interesting to see how well her stamina comes into play here. Second lap here was about 2:32 as she came across the line.
And again, number 1 and 2 is together with quite a gap back to the rest of the pack, but the rest of the pack is bunched together.
The top two runners currently have about a 25 to 30 meter lead as they go down the back here, but I tell you, the last pack of runners are packed together tighter than a can of sardines. I mean, they are nose to tail. And Windelmuir continues to hold just a small lead over Lakeview's runner here. That's Maggie Farrell out of Battle Creek Lakeview, a senior who's in second. And those two have been kind of nose to tail here for the last 2 or 3 laps, but they're both not probably going to kick it into high gear until about the last lap and a half here.
And coming up after 3 laps, the time is 3 minutes 53.
And you can see the official at the start line holding up a 5. That signifies 5 laps to go here. So good shot. Good job, camera crew.
And the pack is starting to stretch out, but there's still quite a gap between first and second and the rest of the pack.
And
About
Farrell
25 yards.
Farrell is right on the back of Windermere here. They've been right nose to tail, but Farrell looks like she's ready to strike and ready to pounce and take that lead here at any moment. And Maggie Farrell now looked to the outside. She was briefly cut off by Windermere. But as they come down, it's anybody's race. They are literally side by side.
As we come up to the midpoint of the race, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. They're crossing the line at 5 minutes, 14 seconds.
And there's quite a bit of distance between first and second. Third and fourth are a little staggered, and fifth through probably about 11th there is quite stacked. They have really, that pack's going to be really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who comes out of that with the position that they desire. Similar to last race, Kayla Windermere out of Holland Christian, who's been pretty much leading and dominating this race from the start. It's going to be really interesting to see if she's going to write the script differently than the last runner for the last event did, you know, and blowing the lead in the last quarter of the lap. It's looking more and more increasing like it's going to come down to Holland Christian and Battle Creek Lakeview to see who determines the winner here, but it's awfully early still.
Five down, 3 laps to go. Crossing line at 6:33.
Boy, the top 2 runners have been nose to tail for over the last 3.5 laps here, and they're not showing any extreme signs of exertion, but I'm sure their bodies tell them differently right now. This is when you really got to dig deep and power through if you want to win these kind of events.
And those first 2 runners are still holding a 25-yard lead over the third place runner.
Third place runner is gaining a little bit of momentum here, but it's still clearly the top 2 out of Holland Christian and Battle Creek Lakeview. Pioneers runner Jocelyn Chersder is gaining a little bit of momentum as we go down here, but it appears right now that
After 6 laps, 7 minutes 50, and it appears that Kayla Windermere is pulling ahead slightly. And Kayla Windermere has pulled about a 10-yard lead over Maggie Farrell for second place.
And Windermere seems to have found her second win, and she is extending her lead over Battle Creek Lakeview's own Maggie Farrell.
We're coming up to the bell lap. We'll have one lap to go as Kayla Windemuller crosses the line.
And Windemuller has a very big lead as they enter the bell lap here. It's going to be quite interesting to see if anybody has anything left. Their first stamina, if she holds pace right now and holds serve, I don't think anybody's going to be able to get her.
This is an impressive run by this young lady.
Holland Christians, Kayla Windemuller on the same straightaway now as the last place runner. I don't think she's going to be able to get there to lap her, but Windemuller is building an impressive, almost half a straightaway lead now over Maggie. It's funny, Windemuller seems to be running faster now than she was at the beginning of the race. She's showing absolutely no signs of exertion whatsoever. And as they come down as they're coming down into the back stretch turn, into the front stretch, she's being cheered on by her teammates, and it appears that nobody's going to be able to stop Kayla Windemuller. As they come, Kayla Windemuller is going to win by a quite large margin. She also lapped the last place contender there in a time
crossing
of
the line at 10:19. 10:19. She missed the Golden Triangle record by about 4 seconds is all. What an amazing run by this young lady. Second place goes to Maggie Farrell.
Congratulations to both Windemuller and Maggie Farrell. They both got out of the gun really fast. And even though Farrell was right on Maggie's butt for quite a long time there, Maggie eventually was able to stretch out her lead, and they both finished kind of right where they started. We still have runners coming across the line almost a minute after Windemuller finished her race, just to tell you how good of a race she ran. We still have a couple finishing as we almost approach the 12-minute mark, so Windemuller finished almost 2 minutes ahead of the last place finisher, which is quite an accomplishment. And that appears to mark the end of the girls 3600, with the last runner coming in at about 11:55. Next up on the agenda is the men's 3200 boys run. We have about 25 minutes left of these before we go into more of the big finals, the 4x400, and a lot of the relay aspects.
And there goes the start of our first heat of the 3200 boys run.
And as so accustomed to in these sort of events, the pack is packed together extremely tight so far, but probably the next 2 or 3 laps you're going to start seeing who has a legitimate chance for contending and who is going to drop back in the pack just a little bit. Fremont Senior Zach Worth had quite a good run there, but he's starting to fall back. And actually, Aiden Delfuco, Saline's own Aiden Delfuco is in second. He is looking to take the lead.
A 107 in this, for the first lap.
And they are still packed nose to tail. It's probably about a maybe 5-10 meter difference between the leader right now and the last place runner. Good run for the Fremont boys so far, as they have 3 guys inside the top 10, but Aiden Delfuco for Saline's holding steady in 4th. Looks like the next Saline runner is back in 8th. And Plymouth also appears to have 2 runners inside the top 10, so everybody's bunched together nose to tail. It appears Northville Mustang, one of the Northville Mustangs runners, has appeared to jump out to an ever so slight lead. Ben Crackraft, a senior, appears to just have taken the lead ever so slightly. And as they come to complete lap number 2, Crackraft with a time of 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
Now, the Golden Triangle record was set last year by Morgan Beatlescombe from Algonac with a time of 9:03.68. The state record is 8 minutes, 40 seconds, and 70 by Grant Fisher from Grand Blanc in 2015.
And Craycraft is holding served out there. One of Birmingham Seaholm's runners was actually 2 Seaholm runners, but one of their runners is in second, and he's holding serve. Plymouth runners in 5th and 6th. There's a Northville runner in 7th. We come to complete lap number 3 here, but this is making out. Unlike the last event, there is not much distance separating the top 6, and there's probably about a 5 meter distance, and then the last 8 or 9 runners, so it's still anybody's race.
Third lap, cross the line at 3 minutes 29, so about a minute 10 pace per lap.
And Crockraft is still holding serve ever so slightly. However, there are 3 runners right down his gullet, and he's looking to get past really easily. 4th place runner's actually dropped his glove off here. I guess there's all sorts of conditioning methods that you're going to use to gain a little bit of speed. Appears Livonia Stevenson's own senior Alex Brower is the one who dropped his gloves. And it appears the Pioneer runner is ever so slightly behind Crockraft, and Crockraft crosses the line at 4 minutes and 44 seconds. It's kind of been a 3-man race now between Northville, Pioneer, Seaholm, and Livonia Stevenson. Those 4 have started to separate themselves ever so slightly. However, the 2 Plymouth runners are not far behind.
And we're past the halfway mark, less than 4 laps to go.
Crockraft is ever so slightly just holding serve. The top 3 have really not changed a lot of spots here per se. Their distance has kind of held serve the last 2-3 laps. And Crockraft probably maybe has a 6-inch lead over Pioneer and Livonia Stevenson's runners.
And coming up, completing 5 laps in 5 minutes 55 seconds. They're maintaining a 1 minute 11 second pace.
Saline's runners now have dropped to the back of the pack. It looks like 4 of our 5 are closer to back in the top, 12th, 13th area. So not the best run here for Saline. And Crawcraft is ever so slightly in the lead. I think the top 2 runners behind him are content to hold serve where they are because they know they're well within striking distance. In order to make a move right now, your main goal is to just not get in trouble, not use all of your stamina, and stay within striking distance of that leader here.
Front 3 starting to spread out just slightly, but maintaining pace as we come up to the end of 6 laps. They're going to cross the line in 7 minutes and 10 seconds.
2 laps to go here, and it's the 3 runners, but however, there's a Plymouth runner right on their tail. There are 2 Plymouth runners, so they are right there.
Yeah, the gap between 3rd and 4th definitely is growing smaller. That Plymouth runner is letting his presence be known. In fact, before too long, he's going to be taking over 3rd place.
He looks to be taking over 3rd place here. He's going to go to the high side of Livonia Stevenson's Alex Brower's runner, and he is going to be in 3rd, and he's still looking. Oh, boy.
He's got a lap and a half to go and definitely has picked up his pace.
It's funny to me, at least. It seems how all of these different events, it seems like the teammates always seem to run within tandem with each other. And Crawcraft, as he's coming down the back, we're about ready to enter the bell lap. There are 2 Plymouth runners now that are battling behind Crawcraft for 2nd and 3rd. It'll be interesting to see if they have anything left. That Plymouth runner we were telling you about earlier is shrinking the distance between Crawcraft, and he looks like a man on a mission.
And Crawcraft crossed the line at 8:25. He's in the bell lap, 1 final lap. Plymouth runners definitely are picking up the pace, but Crawcraft is maintaining his lead. That gap does not appear to be shrinking at all.
If anything, Crawcraft appears to be growing it ever so slightly, but good run for Plymouth here as they have their 2 men in 2nd and 4th. So when you have 2 of your guys and they come on with the top 5, nothing wrong with that.
Crawcraft definitely has picked up his pace. He's starting to widen that gap between himself and the 2nd place Plymouth runner.
The nearest Saline runner appears to be back in 11th, per se. It looks like that might be Aiden Del Fuco running in 11th. And Crawcraft is holding serve, and he comes down the straightaway for the 5 time. Ben Crawcraft, a senior out of Northville, looks to win.
Look at that kick. My goodness. He's going to come across the line in 9 minutes and 33 seconds.
Crawcraft.
2nd place Plymouth is going to cross the line in 9:38.
He missed breaking the Golden Triangle record just about by 27-28 seconds. But a great run nonetheless for Crawcraft and the entire Northville High School cross-country team.
What an amazing performance.
We still have runners coming across the line. Now it appears that the last runner came in about 12, 10, 13. And as I told you guys earlier, I'm one of those people that uses cross country and track and field interchangeably, so I'm sorry if I'm upsetting anyone out there. We also got some show results for you. And the boys' 300 hurdles result, Dalen Baldwin, sophomore out of Waterford Mott, with a time of 41.61 seconds, took home the first place prize. Ben Barton, a junior out of Birmingham Seaholm, came in second, while Ryan Farr, a senior out of Saline, Derek Yang, a junior out of Ann Arbor Pioneer, and Haziah Renchler, a senior out of Saline, rounded out the top 5.
In sixth place, it was Montel Lewis, a freshman from Westland John Glenn. Seventh was Christian Borski, a senior from Royal Oak. Eighth, Logan Jacobs, a sophomore from Ann Arbor Pioneer. Ninth, Nico Kostu, a junior from Saline. And rounding out 10th place, Tyler Kudlick, a junior from Saline. And he crossed the line in 44.65. That's the results of the boys' 300 hurdles.
The hurdles, perhaps more than any other event that is run here at the Golden Triangle, requires intense strength coming from the hips. You're leaping over those holders repeatedly, and you have to continually stay fast, while the 36 is more speed and endurance than anything else.
Okay, we now have just had the start of the boys 3200 Elite. The record for this
meet was set back in 2015. The Michigan record is 8 minutes and 40 seconds, set by Grant Fisher of Grand Blanc, and the Golden Triangle record was set by Morgan Beetlescombe out of Algonac, 5/6 of 2016. They're still all pretty much knotted up together, so it's still anybody's race. Keep in mind, this is the elite event, so these are the best runners from around the entire state and sometimes around the entire Midwest going at it here.
And 1:05 was the time crossing the line by the leader on that first lap. 7 to go.
It appears Benzie Central, well in BC earlier, Benzie Central's runners eked out to and just a little bit of a lead. It appears Benzie Central's own Braden Huddleston is busy dueling another runner for the lead, but they are still stacked together. Still anybody's race.
Coming up to the end of the second lap, Benzie Central's Huddleston still in the lead, crossing the line at 2 minutes 18.
First lap was about 1:05, so a little bit slower of a lap time there, but that's to be expected as these guys slowly but surely wear down their energy reserves as they continue to go around this quarter-mile track. Matthew Zerfus, a Novi runner, we haven't mentioned that school a lot today, is running in fifth, so a good run for the Novi track and field program. And Pioneer, once again, one of their runners is in fourth place. Boy, we've been talking about them in Waterford Mott and BC the entire day, and Saline.
We've had a lead change coming across the line after 3 laps in 3 minutes 28 seconds.
Keep in mind, this is almost a 2-mile running thing, so it requires quite a lot of endurance. Great shot there, gathering a lot of the Saline friends and family gathering on the sideline. Great job by our camera crew.
And our lead runner is stretching out quite a lead now. Coming up to the line, halfway point, 4 minutes, 36 seconds.
And he is stretching out. That's a 4:36 mile, everyone. That is absolutely blistering.
Our early leader, Braden Huddleston, appears to be fading. He may have come out a little quickly and burned himself out, but he's deep in the pack.
And Novi, we mentioned earlier, is all the way up to second, so a great run for the Wildcats. And there you can see just the spirit and enjoyment that everybody is getting watching this meet here tonight. It's what it's all about, Friday night, hanging out with your friends under the lights at Saline Hornet Stadium. Nothing better.
And we've chased away the rain.
I think we could change our previous forecast from soggy Saline to sunny Saline at the rate we're going right now.
All right, our lead runner's coming up to the line to complete 5 laps in 5 minutes, 46 seconds.
We wish you could tell you who the lead runner was, but alas, there's no symbol or anything to signify or symbolize who he is, so we're kind of, trying to play a little bit of guess-up right here. Nonetheless, our lead runner's building out a significant lead. Unlike the last 2 meets, he has come out right from under the gun, and he has probably got about between a third and a half straightaway lead right now, as we are on lap number 6, I believe.
Yeah, our lead runner currently is on a 1 minute 9 second pace. That was an average 2 seconds faster than our first heat, which is to be expected considering this is the elite.
He is continually building his lead. So far, it looks like nobody has anything in the tank to challenge for him, but if there's anything we've learned from the last 2 races, absolutely anything is still possible here.
Coming up to the line, completing his 6th lap. 2 laps to go.
And Anthony DeCracker of Saline's very own is up to second. Let's see if DeCracker has anything. It looks like he's breaking up that distance just a little bit.
Hey, it was 6 minutes 59 at the line that time.
And there are a lot of Saline friends and family of Anthony DeCracker gathering right at the sideline, cheering him on. Let's see if that can help motivate DeCracker, as he clearly has a big home field advantage right now.
And he definitely appears to be eating into that lead.
Anthony DeCracker has been one of the best cross-country runners for Saline for the last 2 years now, and he's only a junior, so he's got 1 more year. And he appears to be tearing into the lead. However, the Novi runner that is right behind DeCracker appears to be eating into his lead, so should have been down for a great finish here. Gabriel Moodle, the junior out of Novi, we would like to congratulate, as he is running a very, very good race. Gabriel Moodle actually now is past DeCracker, and let's see if he has anything to offer. He is currently performing extremely long strides, so let's see what he has to offer.
All right, the lead definitely is shrunk as we come up to the end of 7 laps. Here comes the bell lap, 8 minutes, 13 seconds for the leader, and the Novi runner is catching him quickly. Yeah. Gabriel Muddle has gone into the lead, and now he's got about a 10-yard lead.
Lead runner is fading someone as he's dropped back to third, and he's in danger of getting freight trained down the outside. Just amazing how these guys can lead 6 or 7 laps and still not have anything left. And Gabriel Moodle now, nobody's eating into his lead as he comes around the turn for the final time. He's being cheered on. However, there's a Pioneer runner that's coming right down his back.
This is going to be a good. There he is. There he goes. Pioneer has just moved into the lead. Coming up to the finish line.
Ann Arbor Pioneers, Nick Foster.
9 minutes, 17 seconds. What a run. What a finish.
Nick Foster, boy. Just when you thought Mutil had it. Wow. Foster turned on the burners, and what a run. That's called releasing every ounce energy you have.
What an amazing finish. That's the kind of talent you get at these meets. When you get to this level, you just have amazing, amazing results.
Next up on our itinerary, we have the 4x4 girls relay here. It's just an absolutely gorgeous view from where we're sitting out as we are looking over the Saline Woods and the water tower. Just a gorgeous view of our lovely little town of about 10,000 people.
All right, as we said, the girls 4x400 relays coming up. This will be a fast race. The Golden Triangle record is 3 minutes 54 and 15, set by Ann Arbor Pioneer last year. The state record is 3 minutes 40 seconds .95, set by Oak Park in 2014. Gun is up for the first heat, and they're off. This will be 4 laps around, 4 separate runners, each running 1 lap.
And actually, as of April 26th, Oak Park, courtesy of MLive, broke their record with a 3 minute and 55 second relay, which is absolutely astounding. But Ann Arbor Pioneer, Troy, Northville, and North Farmington are also teams to look out for as they have rounded out the top 5 so far this year. Holding true to serve, Pioneer once again is in the lead, albeit not by much. And Pioneer is overtaken now by Royal Oak, it appears.
But Pioneer gets the handoff first, which puts them in first place. Keep in mind, we're still running the stagger.
This event's going to be 4 laps around the track here.
Okay, as we come out of turn 2, now they can cut into the inside. The stagger has been used up.
And a lot of the runners now are using that inside lane as the shortest way around the track to try and gain some grip on their shoes, maybe, and try to gain some momentum. Because right now, one of the Pioneers runners, I tell you what, I am really impressed with that entire track and field program because they have just dominated almost every event that they have been in this tonight.
The Pioneers coming down the front straight with a major lead. They're going to do the first handoff.
It's another good handoff for Pioneer. That's something that they seem to be quite good at, is their handoffs tonight have been immaculate, which is a really big bonus and a really big win.
There's the final runner to take the first handoff.
And the Pioneers are building a commanding lead. Their relay team is kind of leaving everyone else in the dust. In only about 2.5 laps, they almost have more than half a straightaway lead now, and then nobody appears to have anything to contend with Pioneer.
Okay, coming down the front straight to end the third lap. This will be the final handoff. Pioneer still has a commanding lead. And we're coming up to the end of this third lap in 3 minutes and 3 seconds.
Royal Oak is holding serve in second. Northville's holding serve in fourth. But that Pioneer runner is absolutely flying right now. She's got now more than half a straightaway lead. Nobody's cutting into her lead. If anything, she's extending it with just a little over a half a lap to go. It's going to be hard to see if anybody has anything left. It's going to take her slowing down tremendously because at this point, her lead is so substantial, I just don't see anybody cutting into it.
Pioneer currently has over a half a lap lead on the final team. And as she comes out of the fourth turn on her final straightaway run.
What a commanding performance by Pioneer. They took this relay and absolutely dominated the field. And Pioneer is going to win the relay in a time of just over 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 2 seconds to be exact. Royal Oak appears to be in second. We've got a race here for third. I think it's going to go to Northville, and it does. Lakeview is going to come in at sixth, it appears, and Saline will come home in seventh. And the last runner appears to come across the line in about 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, that was our first heat for the girls 4x400 relay.
We would like to highlight the fact that this entire news production was made entirely possible by the Saline Community Television Network in conjunction with the SWWC and our video production program, and we would like to extend a deep thanks and gratitude to both these stations for making this wonderful broadcast possible. And we are off in the second heat of the girls 4x400
No, this is
relay.
heat one of the boys, actually. Apparently the girls only had one heat. So this is heat one of the boys 4x400.
And Piers Lakeland has had another successful run as they have overtaken the Northville Mustangs. Battle Creek Lakeland's had quite a good run here today, and Northville's had a good run too. They've won a couple of events, but what's really impressed me about Northville is their consistency. They've consistently had runners in the top 5, the top 10, so overall a solid showing for a number of these programs.
And here comes the first handoff into the first lap. It is 53 seconds.
It appears Lakeland has built just an ever so slight lead over Northville. Lakeland still at first by a, I wouldn't say commanding, but a solid margin, probably 10 or 15 meters.
And the second handoff, we're halfway through at 1:49.
And Northville is holding serve in second. Another team we would like to highlight the success of is the Chelsea Bulldogs track and field team. They've had several really good runs here today too. Quite a few teams that the coaches should be extremely proud of, and several special performances. And Lakeland, the Lakeland relay team is still in the lead. Great shot by our camera crew man, Matthew Adel. We appreciate it, buddy. And it's like come around to complete the bell lap. This will mark lap number 4 in only 2 minutes and 44 seconds. Wow.
Northville's got their work cut out for them if they're going to overtake Lakeland in this last one.
Northville appears to be cutting into that lead, however. Their runner is running with, he's got extremely long legs. He's got a lot longer strides, so he's still well within striking distance. It appears he's not making up a ton of distance, but he is ever so slightly inching forward to that leader. Ever since the drop, Lakeland has been the leader, and it appears that they might be on their way to another win. And Lakeland will win at 3 minutes and 39 seconds, followed by Northville in 3:42. Congratulations to both schools on a great run.
Yeah, the meet record for the Golden Triangle is 3 minutes 21 seconds. That was set by Saline in 2015. The facility record is 3:19:35, set by Ann Arbor Pioneer in 2007. So that's been standing for 10 years now. The Michigan State record is 3 minutes 12, set by Detroit Mumford in 2002. So that has been, the state record's been safe for about 13 years now, or 15 years.
And up next is the boys 4x400 relay. We've got lots of exciting action, so don't go anywhere.
Okay, coming up, they're getting lined up for the second heat of the boys 4x400.
And here you see a close-up shot of Robbie Felton, one of Saline's best distance runners and best athletes overall in Saline history. He's had several athletic accomplishments. He's the senior student president and overall a very great kid. So good job, Robbie. We would also like to highlight the fact that Robbie Felton, who was just shown in previously that camera shot, is playing football at Brown. So not as only is he a great athlete, but he's an extremely smart young man.
And they're off. There's second heat of the boys 4x400.
Saline appears to have two competitors on this 8-person field.
And again, this first lap, everybody stays in their lane due to the stagger. They will fade to the inside as they come off of turn 2 after the first handoff on the second lap.
And Saline's Win Walker appears to be holding serve in second with Spencer Leslie coming up to 5th now, but it's 3 wide for that 3rd position. So clearly an intense battle here going on for position. And both of the Saline runners, and Spencer Leslie looks like he very well might be able to pass the leader here. What a run by Spencer Leslie.
Saline crosses the line for the first handoff in first and second place in about 51 seconds.
Spencer Leslie now hands it off to Robbie Felton, who turns on the afterburners, and Felton is increasing that lead for Saline every second now. Felton's now probably got about a 25 or 30 meter lead. However, he's not extending that lead right now. I actually checked that he is just a little bit. And Robbie Felton's only about 5'10", 5'11", so he's an extremely athletic young man. So to be able to see, just his running motion is quite a good model for younger generations.
And coming down the home stretch to close out lap number 2, Saline's in the lead. Handoff's going to cross the line at 1 minute 43 seconds.
And Felton gives it off to Win Walker, and Connor Hibbert's also going to give it off. And Win Walker now is trying to run and keep that lead going here for Saline.
They're at about a 3-minute 30 pace, so slightly off from the records.
And when Walker, as he comes around the back stretch, the back turn heading into the front stretch, he continues to try to keep Saline's lead. Saline's lead appears to have been cut into just a little bit, not enough to make a significant difference. And as we head for the bell lap, here comes Sean Duffy, one of Saline's best sprinters and one of the best sprinters in the state.
And the final handoff for the third handoff for the final lap is at 2:39.
And Sean Duffy is turning on the afterburners, trying to bring home the 3,200 title back to Saline. 4x4, excuse me.
Okay, coming out of the fourth turn, Saline has a commanding lead. There is no catching this boy right now.
Sean Duffy from Saline. And the boys win the 4x100 relay.
Coming across the line at 3:26, Saline takes the victory.
Saline only was off about the record by less than 5 seconds. So overall, a great run for Saline. And once again, just keeping you on the air, I'm standing next to Jeff Bush, and I am Nathan Stearns, and we are very happy to be broadcasting to you live the Golden Triangle, the 22nd annual Golden Triangle from Saline Hornet Stadium. And that was the last event here. We have been very happy to bring you this wonderful meet. It was a great experience for me, and I really enjoyed working with my colleague here, Jeff Bush. Until next time, I'm Nathan Stearns.
And I'm Jeff Bush, and until next time, bye-bye and bye-bye. See ya!